Hi, welcome back to my friend Permu's Patio. Right now you're watching the series on simplifying square roots. And I hope since you're in part 2, which is short division, that you've gone through the first section on divisibility, where we talked about how to figure out right away whether the numbers 2, 3, 5, or 11 go into another number. If you haven't, please review that. It'll be helpful today. We want to talk about short division, and you've been doing long division, probably many of you, since you were young. Well, I would like to do 487 divided by 3. We have our long division way of doing this. But there's another way to do it that works very quickly and will help us to do prime factoring later on. And it goes like this. You can think about why this works later. It makes very good sense if you remember that this is actually 400 plus 80 plus 7. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check how many times does 3 go into 4. Well, it goes one time with 1 left. Now, how many times does 3 go into 18? 6. With no remainder. And then how many times does 3 go into 7? 2, with remainder not 1, remainder 1/3. So 487 divided by 3, 162 and 1/3. I would encourage you not to switch to decimals when doing this. Fractions are really much better from the standpoint of math. And I hope you use fractions whenever you can. When you go to science like physics or chemistry, then it doesn't matter if you lose very small decimals at the end of a number. But we'd like to keep track of this, so please leave the fractions. Let's try another. How about 245 divided by 5? Well, how many times does 5 go into 2? None. How many times does it go into 24? It goes 4 times, which is 20, with 4 left over. So then, how many times does 5 go into 45? 9. So 5 times 49, 245. And I think you can see how quick this is, and especially if you have limited room on your paper, it's a great tool to have. It works for really large numbers too. Let's try 3, 7, 5, 2, 9, 6, 4, and let's try to make this a number that 3 will go into for certain. So 3 plus 7 is 10, plus 5 is 15, 17, 26, 32, 36. 3 times 12 is 36. So we'll use that for a check to ourselves in a moment. So I know 3 will go evenly into this number, so let's see. 3 goes into 3 one time with no remainders. 3 goes into 7 2 times with 1 remainder. 3 goes into 15 5 times with no remainder. 3 goes into 2 0 times with 2 remainders. 3 goes into 29 9 times with 2 remainders. 3 goes into 26 8 times with 2 remainder. And 3 goes into 24 8 times. So wow, how quick is that? If you had done this problem the normal long division way, you'd probably be down at the floor by now, panting for breath. Anyway, a very nice tool. And most of the time when you're dividing by 2 through 9, which is many times, and certainly almost all the times when we do prime factoring that's practical without a calculator, that's all we're going to need. Why don't you try for a moment, stop the video, and make a problem and try it yourself. Start with a small 3-digit number and see how it works. Okay, let's try 2 more examples before we quit here. Let's try 459 divided by 2. 2 goes into 4 2 times with no remainder. 2 goes into 5 2 times with 1 remainder. 2 goes into 19 9 times with 1 half as a remainder. So I'd like you to try to put away that remainder 1 from elementary school. Try to remember that it's the number that was left over being divided by 2. Because when I'm all done, I need to be able to multiply these two numbers and get this back. And let's try one other big one here. Let's try 427,842 divided by 4 and see what we get. Let me just ask you real quickly, what are the possible remainders if I'm dividing something by 4? Why don't you take a moment, stop it, and think. Well, the only possible remainders I have are 1/4, 2/4, and 3/4. Because 4/4, of course, is another 1, and 0 is the previous one. So when I'm doing this, I should certainly not wind up with a 5th. And I shouldn't wind up with 5/4. If I did that, then I didn't divide by enough. 4 goes into 4 one time. 4 goes into 2 0 times with 2 left. 4 goes into 27 6 times with 3 left. 4 goes into 38 9 times with 2 left. 4 goes into 24 6 times. 4 goes into 2 0 times with 2/4 left. And of course, we need to simplify this. So we're going to change 2/4 into 1/2. And there you go, short division, a great tool. Many times in life, I've been able to do problems like this, both working in industry and teaching, and this saves me a great deal of time. I hope you like that tool and I hope you use it. Thanks for coming.